Hey folks, we're working on this top of the box here, and what I've got here is, of course, this is the MDF part, and I scribed the inside dimensions of the top of this box while that bottom wasn't on there. And this is what I came up with. These are just the pencil lines I've drawn in there. So I'm going to use that as my guide to cut a piece that's larger than what I need by a slight amount so that we can do an interference fit using the shaving plane, the shooting plane and shooting board. That's right. So that's what I'm going to do now on the table saw. So I need to get this distance between the edge of this board and this edge right here, and I've got that set. You can see that perhaps on the GoPro right there, that I've got that distance there, and then this is going to be greater than that. I mean, it'll cut on the outside of the line here, so this will be just a little bit outside the line. So when I set this distance on this table saw, I want it to be a little bit wider than that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just force it to be a little bit wider by actually setting it right there. So it's a little bit wider than that line, and a lot wider than that line. And then we'll cut this other line out and it'll be ready to go. And then we'll have to do the cross cuts as well in a similar fashion. So I'm just using this gauge. Did I get that off? A lot wider. And that's right on the line. Yeah, I probably should be using those magnifying glasses, but this will have to do for right now. So that should give me a good dimension. And basically we're cutting off the edge that's not spalted. There's about a ½ inch of oak that's not spalted. The rest of it's all spalted. So I'm cutting off that ½ inch of that oak right there. And you can see that's about the width of that of this blade right here. So that's the part I'm cutting off, even though I can't see it. I got some faint pencil lines on this one, but I knew those weren't going to do me any good. So I'll probably sand those off or erase them some kind of way. But let me get my hair protection, and we'll rip this down. There'll be 2 different rips. We'll do the first one now. Outside the line, still outside the line. That's good. I'll be all right. Now we're going to want to get this dimension. This edge. Right side that line. It's awesome. That's going to be outside the line. That's going to be outside the line. Then I should be able to get that once I set this right. Put that against the fence. What I've got. When I have problems like this, I use this micro gauge clamp down the fence. I don't know whether you heard all that, but when I have problems getting my measurement just right, I like to use this screw device to get it just right. So I'll put this on the fence right here. I've got the thing screwed in there. Right now, when I slide this up, it touches the tooth right there. I'm going to open it up and loosen the blade a little bit, and I'm pushing against that screw. So now, see, I just come right past that blade. So that's perfect. Sometimes you just want it to touch the blade, but at this point, I didn't really need to touch it. So we're going with that. I forgot to turn on my dust collection, but it picks up most of it afterwards anyway, because that blade throws the dust down into the chute right there. So that's plenty of room to be shaving off. Now let's get the cross cuts here. Take that off and get my cross cut. I found that this is all I need. I don't need a cross-cut sled, even though I've got one down there. It's just too much trouble to get out, and heavy and everything, and this thing works just fine. And by using this little block over here, I could use it as a zero clearance type of block, but that's not really necessary at this point. That blade cuts a good enough cut to where I don't worry about tear out or anything like that. I just want something to this side of it on the other side of the blade pushes that piece beyond the blade as well, the offcut piece. So I'll come up and I'll get just a little bit outside that line, eyeballing it like that. And dust collection. What we succeeded in doing is making a piece that won't fit, but it's close enough to where I can start shaving it in there, and that next part is going to happen over at the other table. So these cameras are shutting down. I'll be back on the other side, so see you shortly. Hey folks, since the fitting part that is coming next is going to take so long, it's about 32 minutes long, and adding all of this about 8 minutes, whatever, just makes it too long. So this is going to be a separate video, so be sure to like, subscribe, and click that bell to be notified. And thank you all, appreciate it.